Early February was bitterly cold, with heavy snow and frost a familiar sight. Regardless of the snowmelt, the river ran clear, although it was higher than usual. The grayling were the first fish on the cards this month, as I find that this weather really helps them get grouped up and they tend to be easily located in their winter grounds. I chose to use the Euro nymphing method. It's a technique I'm often successful with. As I headed out that morning, I was expecting a good number of grayling from an area which holds the fish throughout the colder months. Now I live and work on the river, so I was confident in my methods and my choice of location, as these are favourable and productive all year round for both the trout and the grayling. I was using the grayling specific flies, but mainly these are shrimp with purple tags or purple heads. These were fished in a team of 3 and they were run downstream with an 11-foot Witchwood drift in 3-weight. I used braid straight from the reel in order to detect any bites, even the most delicate of ones. It was soon apparent that the river needed to drop another 12 inches, as the water hadn't actually dropped enough to allow the pools to form properly, and that's where the fish generally get gathered up, and that's when you can really have a good day's sport. It was a bit of a shame, because when they are grouped up in these tiny pools, it's absolutely unbelievable how many fish and how many large fish come from directly underneath your feet in a hole that you wouldn't even imagine held fish. With the morning not producing, I moved upstream above the fast rocky water. I decided to change methods, and I used an upstream nymph and an indicator setup. Not often my chosen method for trout or grayling, as I don't find it particularly exciting, as I feel much less in connection with what's happening, and personally I prefer a Euro nymph or an upstream dry fly setup. However, after moving, the day was still uneventful, without coming across the usual suicidal stocky brown trout, which are often willing to take just about anything that crosses them. It was a rather unsuccessful afternoon's angling, although it was a lovely day out and there was some fantastic weather. Unfortunately, the river rose again, as the following day more snowmelt from the hills made its way downstream, and the river truly never got back into a good condition until the month had all but passed. The middle of February saw me heading down to Ripon Racecourse. I'd not been down in over a month, and I needed to reconnect with the place. Well, we're on the 16th of February now, down at Ripon Racecourse. This is my main water for this year. I'm actually on doing a separate film at the moment about the whole year all combined. That won't be out until the end of this year, probably early next year, so early 22. Now a couple of days ago this was completely frozen apart from this little corner, but I knew the temperatures were due to increase, so I got down on Sunday, put a bit of bait in, come back on the Tuesday, which is today. I've fished 4 different swims today. Just keep mobile, keep moving, keep chucking pop-ups around on my known spot. Not seeing any signs of life, to be honest, but I'm going to keep trickling that bait in from now onwards. Try get something going really, try get these fish moving around. It's a well-known rock solid winter water, but no one fishes it through winter. So if I can get them moving around a bit early, hopefully that'll play in my favour. But I think it's fair to say nothing's going to happen today. And that was very true. Although nothing did happen that day, it was nice to be back down and reconnect with the place. So my next journey was off down to the Ripon Canal, a place that I'd never fished, but it was a place that I was interested to learn more about. I've made my way down, probably a couple of 100 yards now, casting spinners, spoons, lures, in a big semicircle all the way down as I go. I'm yet to see anything. I know it's not the most well-stocked canal, but there is a fairly decent number of pike. I'm fairly surprised I haven't had anything yet, but I think this month's just cursed because I think I'm yet to have a fish. And it's going to be a very uneventful video if I can't change that. I've got about 3.5 hours left before I get picked up, which isn't fantastic, but I'll see what I can do. If not, then I might try get back out after the grayling in the next 4 or 5 days. Just try save it really. But I'll see you again if I catch anything at all. So as you saw, the canal was just an absolute write-off. It was also really difficult to film there with the amount of dog walkers and undesirables that hang around in that area. Trying to keep all of your camera gear fairly well hidden whilst also trying to film decent content just doesn't really work hand in hand, especially when you're trying to couple that with catching fish. But from there it was time to head back up to the race course, again just to try keep in touch with the spot. So we're back down at my main lake today. It's the 24th or the 25th of February. I've got about 4 hours. I've flicked the rods out up here. Not really expecting to catch anything, but more because it's a good vantage point over the whole lake, so I can sit and I can just watch the water for the afternoon. I've had a quick scan round all of the margins, but not seen any activity whatsoever. I've got a pair of heli rigs out on some old spots that I know about from last year. Both of them have got a tange pop-up on. Awesome baits, wicked winter bait. They're boosted with orange oil as well. Leaks off loads of awesome attractants. But that's more of a token gesture, gives me a bit more of a reason to be sat here. So it's been a mega tough month this month. You know, I've not managed to catch a single fish, not through lack of trying. You know, did a lot of time on the river earlier on after the grayling. Went on the canal for the silvers, for the pike, for the perch, never saw a sign of life. Came down here when the weather changed. Not the best water to try and get a fish out of in winter on days only, but it was more, again, just a reason to be down here because I need to do some research, need to be on it, get a feel for the place again in time for spring and summer really. So I am running out of time this month to actually be able to catch something, and in the back of my mind I'm kind of tempted just to can it and not really put it out, because at the end of the day it's a fishing video that's going to have no fish in it. But also one of the main reasons for me to do this is because it shows what angling's really like. I want it to show, you know, the rawness and the good times and the bad times. I don't want it just to be another video on YouTube where everything magically goes well and where you're just catching fish after fish. I want it to show the good times and the bad times, you know. Everyone has bad days, weeks, months, and that's all part of it. And I don't want there to be any false illusions that, you know, every session's a good session, because that's not how it goes. A big part of not catching this month so far has been through venue choice. You know, through winter time you've got to be picking venues that give you a good chance of catching fish, and that's just not something I've been able to do. That's mainly because I can't actually drive, obviously. Anyone that doesn't know why, go have a look on my Instagram page. It explains everything through there and that'll catch you up. Shameless plug. So that is a massive setback, but it's just how it is. You know, there's nothing we can do, just got to keep trying. Hopefully March time will be a bit of a better month, get these temperatures up. Might go for a few early season tench maybe, depending on what the temperatures are like. If they keep increasing how they are at the moment, then it may be game on at the end of the month. And then hopefully the nights will be back on then as well. I can start putting a bit more time into this place. I won't show too much of here because I've got another film based entirely on this, but I'll be pulling the odd snippets out, maybe some of the lesser significant parts out of it and putting it into the monthly thing. Early March might try again for some pike, but I like to knock it on the head for them really early March, because I think then you're kind of leaning into spawning time. And if I don't catch anything over the next couple of days, then that'll be it for this month really. So a bit of a shame, but like I say, it's just how it goes. If that's the lot, then I'll see you later. Hopefully next month we'll have a bit of a better month, and we'll see you then.